men with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself, but time marches on. It ain't going to wait for you, so you better figure it the hell out, which is actually a pretty good segue into today's topic. Because there are times when we find ourselves dealing with an unchangeable situation, and it can be hard to wrap your mind around that. So, how do you deal with that? This information, by the way, is from mindbodygreen.com. First, you can't fix a problem that you will not face. Why are you unhappy? And I don't mean the surface stuff. I mean, you're going to have to dig down. Why are you unhappy? Okay, maybe you have health issues. Maybe you have health issues, and maybe you're struggling to find answers. Yeah, you know what? That took me years. Y'all wouldn't believe how long that took. And what do you do? What the hell do you do about it? So, why are you unhappy? I can't find a diagnosis. Okay, well, what's your role? What have you done to pursue a diagnosis? What are you doing for self care to try to, well, to try to help yourself? Are you exercising at all? I'm not telling you you've got to run a marathon, but you should be doing something. Look, everybody that I know, it's unfortunately been a small number, but every person that with fibromyalgia that I have convinced to get up and do some yoga or go walking, every single one of them has come back to me and said, "Oh my God, you're right. I know I'm right because I've been there." But you have to be honest with yourself. And you know what? I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I screw myself because I am terrible. I am terrible about my nutrition. There's a lot of excuses that I could give you for that, but it's something I really struggle with. I have to be honest and accept that responsibility in regards to my health situation. Number two, you need to remember that happiness largely is a choice. Look, I don't give a damn who you are. We all have the same basic choice every morning. We can wake up and choose to focus on things that aren't going so well for us. And guess what? You're not going to have a very good day like that. Or you can wake up and go, you know what? So things aren't that great. However, I've got all these things going well in my life. And I'm telling you, because I do this, I literally do this to myself almost every day because I do have health problems up here. Hell, yesterday I tripped. No big deal. Everybody trips, right? I didn't fall hard or anything, but it was enough because of my situation. It was enough to send my body into a complete temper tantrum. Well, I could have woke up this morning and been pissed off that, I didn't get much sleep because I hurt. I was maxed out on meds. There wasn't much more I could do. I kind of had to write it out. And I could have been cranky about that. I kind of was. But, I'm also really lucky because I am capable, even with all the crap I've got going on, I am still capable of choosing to get off my ass and exercise every day. If I focus strictly on the pain, I would never be able to do that. Our attitude is largely the result of our perception of our situation, of our circumstances. In fact, I said, I always put up, most of you probably know, I put up a good morning Phil gif on Twitter every morning. And good morning. And somebody said today, well, it's morning anyway. We'll have to see how good it gets. Well, and I didn't want to say anything to the person because I didn't want to berate them. If you're already in a bad mood, the last thing you need is somebody you don't even know trying to be all chipper. But I really wanted to say, dude, that's why you're having a bad day. Look, there's very few situations in our lives that are truly helpless. No, hopeless. That's what I meant to say. That are truly hopeless. But it's up to you. Nobody's going to come along and lead you by the nose and show you the good things. A good example of what I mean by this, and I don't know where the hell that Midwestern thing comes from, but a good example of this, when my aunt passed away several years ago, it was at that point the biggest loss I'd ever had. My aunt, I'm not going to cry. Okay, maybe a little. She was one of my best friends and one of my closest confidants. And her loss was a tremendous blow to me. But the family gathered, as families do. You know what? I had never met my cousin's wife. They live in the lower 48. I live in Alaska. We hadn't met. And you know what? My cousin married a really cool lady. I liked her a lot. We sat around and yes, we cried a lot. But you know what else we did? We reminisced and we told stories. And there were so many just hysterical moments out of that. And it really deepened our bond with each other. My sister in law and I, my mom was just not, my mom's health was already on the decline at this point. So my sister in law and I said, we'll take care of Aunt Sis's stuff. Don't worry about it. And I got to tell you, it was freaking hard. That's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Going through a loved one's belongings after they pass just sucks. And for me, the hardest part was all these things that meant the world to her. They didn't mean anything to any of us. And you just feel like a jerk. And it was grueling. But my sister-in-law, who's been one of my close friends for a long time, she's been in my, gosh, her and my brother have been married almost 40 years. Maybe it has been for, anyway, a long time. And we've had a very tight friendship. And you know what? I would have never thought this was possible. Our friendship deepened going through my aunt's stuff. And then it deepened again when we had to turn around and do that for my mother's belongings. So I could have focused on the negative of that because both of those situations completely sucked. They were depressing. It was demoralizing. Certainly a harsh reminder of our own mortality. But instead, I appreciate the fact that my sister-in-law and I have such a good relationship and that it deepened. That's pretty damn cool. I appreciate the fact that I got to know my cousin's wife. Granted, only a little bit, but still, it's more than I knew her before. That's pretty cool. You have to be appreciative of these things. And you know what? If you're really struggling, when you find those moments, write them down. Write them down where you can refer back to that as needed. Sorry, itchy. You need to know that words matter. What you say to yourself. Those of us of a certain age will remember the old Andre Agassi commercials. Attitude is everything, because it is. What you say to yourself, it does make you or break you. If you sit there, I could, poor pitiful me in my life, and I do this sometimes, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't. I'm far from perfect. But I could sit here and poor pitiful Pearl all day, and this hurts and that hurts, and oh, what am I going to do about it? But you know what? That puts me into a negative mindset. And don't sit there and tell yourself, well, I can't ever get healthy. Well, no, not if that's your attitude. Oh, this is impossible. But you know what? I have very good proof that very few things are impossible because I did not grow up with curly hair. I used to keep it permed all through high school. It turned curly in my 30s. So I am proof that very few things are impossible. Don't tell yourself it's hopeless, because then it is. As soon as you say that shit to yourself, you're done. Tell yourself, this is always my thing. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. I'll manage. You know why? Because I'm going to damn well figure it out. And I damn well will manage. I'm not going to let this stuff beat me. But that's what I mean. It's our perception that matters. You have to find that in yourself. You need to have positive influences. Now, when I first started really working on myself, I didn't have a lot of positive influences. Why? Because nobody wants to hang out with Debbie Downer. Positive people don't hang out with you if you're negative. And I used to be a really negative person. So what I do, I went online. I found a lot of positive people that I shared interests with online. Find a mentor from afar. I've had so many mentors over the years. I've met very few of them, but a lot of them have had a tremendous impact on my life because I've sought that kind of thing out. You need positive messaging. Get some good books. Go on YouTube. There's so much free, really uplifting content available out there. Get on a podcast. But you are the one responsible for your attitudes and your moods. And you need to there's so much negativity in the world. You've got to get some positivity in there somewhere. And you know what else? Affirmations work. We all like to laugh at them. And gosh darn, I know the lighting in here sucks right now. I need to get a curtain for that. Anyway, those of us of a certain age will also remember, gosh darn it, people like me. But it's true. How you talk to yourself, it matters. The affirmations I used to have under my desk, where only I could see it, had a little shelf thing on my desk, and only I could see it unless you were around in my space, which you shouldn't have been. But it said, and I should have wrote the quote down, but it was something like, you never know how strong you are until strong is your only choice. Well, yeah. That's true. And I would, on really rough days, I would just look at that and I'd focus on it. Okay, I got this. I can do this. I'll figure this out. I will manage. If maybe there's things that you want to aspire to, maybe you want to be more focused, maybe you want to be more positive, maybe you want to be healthier. You know what you can do about that? You can put alarms in your phone so that every day at noon, your phone reminds you, hey, you wanted to be more positive today. Write down your affirmation, write down a mantra. You know what one of mine is? You guys are gonna laugh, but it works for me. Just keep swimming. When I'm up to here and I feel like there's no way in hell I can keep going, I just take a deep breath and I tell myself, just keep swimming. Another really good one, that's not true. When your inner critic starts, that's not true, because you know it's not. But find something that, whether it be a sentence or a saying or just one or two words that are meaningful and impactful to you, put them on a sticky note. Put them maybe above your car visor. Put them in your bathroom. Again, your phone's always a good place because your phone is almost always with you. You've got to be teachable, you know? You've got to be teachable. You've got to be open to these things. Anyway, finally, my final point, my bonus tip. This isn't from them. This is from me. Get off your ass and exercise. It helps you remain focused and present. It's going to reduce your stress. It's going to build your confidence. And more importantly, it's going to teach you a lot about setting and achieving goals, which is pretty damn cool. Okay, so where the hell have I been for the last 2 weeks? I had no internet. I was traveling and I was in Texas at my doctor's, I won't say orders, but recommendation. Let's say that. And my little place didn't have any internet. And at first I was using my phone data to broadcast, but you know what? AT&T's definition of unlimited is very different from my definition of unlimited. And I got to where I couldn't broadcast anything. Well, then I came home, I flew Monday, and then Wednesday I had a very invasive procedure done. It's all fine. In fact, I got a really clean bill of health on that, but I was doped out of my damn mind and there was no way I could do a video. But I am home. Things are getting back to normal. I'm going to go back to my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 o'clock Alaska time, except for next Monday. I will be on at 10:30 Alaska time because I have another doctor's appointment, because that's my whole life these days. Medical. But, at least I have that kind of care available. At least I have people trying to help me. It's all about perception. Anyway, that's all I have. I hope you all have a great weekend. And please follow me on whatever social media platform you're seeing this on. I really got to do something about this likes. That's driving me up the damned wall. But take care, and I'll see you guys Monday at